Hello, my fellow commanders. My name is Eddie Rio. That, very well timed, is Derek the Bird. And of course, here we are inside Elite Dangerous. And I'm in the Galaxy map because I thought I'd want to talk a little bit about this because I've been perusing the map and having a little look through it, thinking of some things I'd like to change, but at the moment, just looking at it in awe of all the galaxies, all the solar systems that we're going to be able to go and visit. And when you zoom out of the map at this distance, I hope you can hear this in the background. There's kind of a dulcet tone, very low, giving sound. And if I zoom in a bit, it disappears at that point. So I don't know if that is that the sound of the whole galaxy. Obviously, sound can't travel in a vacuum. Although I think it was David Toop in a book, Oceans of Sound, who taught or Haunted Weather, one of the books, and he was talking about how what would the whole Earth sound like if you could listen to it. Obviously, you can't because there's a vacuum in space with no molecules to vibrate to pass the sound along, which is also the controversy of the sound in space when you're flying your ships within Elite Dangerous. But I'm so glad that they did add sound because the sound in the game is probably the highlight for me of everything that I enjoy the most about it. But imagine this is the sound of the universe, of our galaxy that we're in, and when you zoom out it lets you listen to it all like a low rumbling thunder. Now, I've selected a point, Easy Orions, which is one of the largest stars within the Orion Nebula. And as I zoom in, I just want you to look at this because I keep zooming in and out at this as we go past a few other nebula, and look at that, the imagery of it as we go past. All these little dots are all solar systems that you get to visit. And at the moment you think, well, there's not that many. But then as soon as you start going into the Orion Nebula, look at that. That is mad. That is crazy. And this is just the Orion Nebula that we're going into. And look at that. It just fills the screen with numbers of the names of these systems. And when you start hovering over them, look at this. Just absolutely crazy. And we keep zooming in. And I've picked this star because it is one of the biggest in the area. And definitely something that I'm going to have to go and visit at some point because look at the size of that star compared to some of the others there. All the other stars tiny in comparison, but some quite interesting ones. A blue star over here should be interesting to see as well. But the cluster of stars in this area are just so compact within that nebula compared to some others. Look as I zoom out, and then you see they start to space out a little bit between them and how clustered they are in there. And that's definitely somewhat you could just, if the game was just that, what you could see on the screen there, oh, I'd be more than happy. But again, let me just zoom out to what we get. You can see the nebula there, Orion Nebula, with the other nebulas in the background, and how amazing that looks. If we keep zooming out, that is just a pinprick within the rest of the galaxy again. It's Is it too big? I don't know. I don't think so. If it's all procedurally generated, other than the closest stars that we've got within our reach, I think it's going to be fascinating. I can't wait to see content coming out from people and pictures of people that have travelled halfway over the galaxy or have reached the core, or what other people's stories are and what they do within the game and what me and my friends do within the game as well. Let's just zoom back in on this again. Here we go. Look at that nebula there as we just look around it. And then as we start to go in it, the stars will start to emerge. Oh! It's not even loading. It's too much to load. There we go. Look at that. Absolutely crazy. I just cannot wait. I think that is a definite destination that I'm going to hit. And we can see how far away it is from Sol, which is roughly around where we're going to start. Not too bad a journey. Now, while I'm in the map, I thought I'd want to talk about a few things that I'd think would be great improvements to the game, and I would really like them to be added. Obviously, I'm not going to throw a wobbly and quit if they're not added. I'm really impressed with the game so far and where it's at. I think with the whole offline fiasco, it was quite upsetting to see how quickly the community sort of turned and got up in arms. But I think we're just sort of coming back round again now. And I know quite a lot of the community kind of darted off to either Star Citizen or Limit Theory. I think is a game that the brainchild of an incredibly clever person who's building Limit Theory, and I think quite a lot of people who wanted that offline mode are going over to there. But I'd worry with that type of person on my fan base that if I'm not implementing something that I said I was gonna, but didn't come to fruition for whatever reason, that they're the types of people that are going to kick off and cause all this hassle about it. And that's not the kind of people that I'd want following the development process of a game. I think there's loads of other things that were probably mentioned within the Kickstarter that didn't make it in. I don't think we're going to get all the ships on launch, the 20 odd ships that they promised. They're going to be staggered out throughout the next year now. And there's other things that they mentioned that didn't come in, but they're not issues, and other people could pick up on that. And I think the best thing to do is just to stay calm and enjoy the ride and enjoy whatever comes out of it. Although I understand with the offline issue, some people backed it just for that because they thought that they'd be able to get that. And I think to argue that one day they might chop the servers off and we won't be able to play and that's why we need an offline mode isn't the case, because I think they're going to develop it for at least 2-3 years more. And I'm pretty sure that if they were going to stop the game, they wouldn't just cut it off so you wouldn't be able to play it. They would bring out a version that would be playable as an update so that you could play it without having to connect to the servers. So I don't think you need to worry about that element. But anyway, let's talk about the navigational map. Now, if I want to travel to Fletch, which is only 2 jumps from Cozy A, which is where I've started from, and I select that on my map, I can hover over it and select destination, and I get this lovely yellow route, which is great, and it tells me how to go. Now if I exit this and I look over on my left hand panel here in my navigation window and I scroll to the bottom and I look for what system I need to jump to, it's not highlighted. And that would make such a big difference, because at the moment on long journeys, let's jump back to the galaxy map. On long journeys, I have to write down my route. So I'd have to write down on a piece of paper LTT 17868, and then I'd have to write down Fletch. And obviously when you're jumping 20 jumps because you want to go and explore somewhere, that starts to become difficult. So I think that'd be a really simple thing that they could implement into the game just to show you where your next jump is. I think would be great. Now I know there's some outside third-party apps started to appear online that you can enter in where you need to go, but it needs to be in game, and I think that's something I'd really like to see be developed. Also, instead of having to write stuff down on my paper, it would be really cool if I could write stuff down in a little notepad, say on the menu on the left here, or in a new little panel or something that could pop up, so I could go over to one more past cargo for notes or captain's log or something like that, and then just write down any notes that I need. Also, on the notes thing, it would be great if, oh look, I've got some bounties to claim now, I'll do that in a minute. It would be great if, say I've been to Ross 49 and I know that there is a good ring cluster to mine there and it produces gold and I make a lot of credits there. It will be great to make a little note in brackets next to that so I can see on my map, galaxy map, solar system map, and on this navigation menu a small little note. Like I could just put gold reserves in a little bracket just for my own personal notation within the galaxy map. I think that would be something great to be added there. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to have a little look at the map there and share some sort of ideas and views I've had with you. Please write in the comments. I love reading the forums and Reddit and finding stuff out about the game and interesting things, and you know, seeing what other people's views are and what they want to do. So please smack in the comments if you've got anything that you want to add, or some places where I could go and find out a bit more information about what's being talked about, the map and the navigational aspects of it. But definitely, I'm working on a new series that will start when the game launches on the 16th, and I've been kind of holding back until launch. Even if we don't get a wipe, I'm going to wipe my character and then start again on the 16th and begin my epic journey. And I've just been working on thumbnails and some bits for that, so please subscribe and things like that if you want to see that one. It's just going to be document my journey through space with my friends and stuff. So anyway, till next time, fly safe.